by.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are live, you are live.
Well, we're back, and it's a pity the rain did not continue. We need every drop we can get, like I said earlier. But it does mean that we can now go out on safari and see what's happening here at Djuma. Already got off to a good start. We are not far from camp, and already one of the characters that we so often see after rains, the tortoise, is out and about. And this little Speaks hingeback tortoise is going to certainly be making the most of the moisture that has just fallen. It's probably going to try and lick leaves to acquire as much moisture as it can get. They'll also try and drink out of small puddles in the road, but sadly I can't see any nearby. For animals like tortoises though, droughts can be incredibly dangerous because they don't have the ability to move easily over large distances. Therefore, if it doesn't rain, they can really find themselves in trouble. So good news for this individual, not only for drinking, but also for its food. Just going to drive straight over the middle of it. It's about 26 degrees Celsius, which is around 76 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a cool morning. The wind was howling when I woke up. I'm not too sure what it was doing while I was asleep. I was dead to the world, and it literally started raining about 10 minutes before we went live, and it really increased in intensity, so we did have to seek shelter. Whether it starts up again, it's hard to tell, but we're just going to head out and see what happens. I have tried my hand at predicting the weather, but I've never been much good at it, so now I'd just rather go out, see what happens. If we have to return, we have to return. If not, what a bonus. Now, Sam is also out on the other vehicle with Wium on camera. They're actually just up ahead of us there. And some of you may not have met Sam before. He's here on interview, and he's already done one drive yesterday morning. I thought he did an incredibly good job for his first drive, as I'm sure a lot of you do as well. But be friendly, as you guys always are, and let's see what happens out here. So you'll get to see him a bit later. Nikki's in the final control room with Kirsty, and I'm teamed up with Dave on camera. Oh, this wind. Usually in windy weather, game viewing can be quite tricky, so we must brace ourselves for that. But cool weather is great for predators still being on the move, so that is something to look forward to. Positive outcome of this potential, of this cool weather and rain. Halal Bonner, yes, Brent is on leave. He will be back along with Jamie, I think, on the 4th of March. And you've mentioned that you do not know how we get up so early in the morning. Well, I think most of us love our jobs, so that's a good prerequisite to getting up early in the morning. And on top of that, we do get to snooze during the middle of the day, sometimes for many hours. So don't worry, we do get time to recharge our batteries. But certainly, after 6 weeks of waking up in the dark, a sleep-in can be most appreciated and most enjoyed. No two ways about that. Ah, Marianne in Arkansas. You've already put through a wish for the safari, and that is that we could hopefully find the heavily pregnant female elephant. And I like where your head's at. That is a good thing to be hoping for. I've never seen an elephant give birth. The only animal I've actually ever seen birth was with some of you guys on my first ever live safari in November 2014. And that was a wildebeest giving birth here on the quarantine clearings very close to us. But I guess what we can read into that is that you can go, and many guides will go a whole career never seeing an animal give birth. So let's hope that your positive thoughts get us into the right place at the right time. My plans are to head to the eastern boundary and see if there's any signs of the Nkuhuma pride and possibly the Birmingham males following them back. I think Wium's also taking Sam in that direction. He actually snuck ahead of us there. So I think that's what Wium's doing. Wium will be helping Sam with directions, and failing that, they do have a little GPS, so they should only get varying degrees of discombobulated, nothing too serious. Well, it sounds like the second tortoise has already been found with Sam, so why don't you guys go over and enjoy it with him.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Savi Sands. As you can see, we found ourselves another tortoise. How very exciting. It's another hinged tortoise. So we've got two out here. We've got the leopard and the hinged tortoise, and it's been an incredible morning so far. I woke up and I was excited again for my next round of interviews, and it was started raining, and I haven't seen rain like that for a long time. And so it's great to see that the rain is back, and that it's going to be bringing a lot of water to this area. So how exciting. But we can see two tortoises this morning, so they're very excited about the rain as well. They're not lying in their beds or hiding away. They're getting out and looking for the new shoots to eat this morning. So already we've had a good morning. But it's good to have you all back here. Just to let you know, my name is Sam Chevalier. I came on my first morning drive yesterday morning, I had such a fantastic time. Thank you very much to all of you that were there and participated in that first drive of mine. I was very nervous, and you all made me feel very comfortable. How were those hyenas? It was incredible. I've never actually experienced hyenas play in water like that before. That was once a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I'm sorry if you weren't there. I think that was penny pine. Did I get that wrong? I'm not sure. Please let me know. Have I ever seen a tortoise being blown over by the wind? I can't say that I've ever seen a tortoise being blown over by the wind, but I have in fact seen a tortoise that's been upside down, and I went and helped it out, and that was actually, I think, 2 years ago. But generally, I don't like to influence and put my hand in the bush. I think it's morally, I don't think it's a good thing, because it doesn't help them learn and experience and teach themselves how to do it again. So where we can, we've got to let nature be and realize that, we're also a part of it. But one can't help but have sympathy for someone who's on his back. So. Oh wow, guys, so it looks like we found ourselves another tortoise. We're going to link over to Scott, and I'll see you just now.
Welcome to Tortoise Live, everyone. This is now a different species of tortoise, the leopard tortoise, and look at how much it is loving drinking out of this puddle. I mean, obviously we don't know how much longer it was here before we arrived, but it is certainly downing this water as if it's the tastiest thing it's ever drank. And I don't blame it. It's probably been quite some time since it last got to quench its thirst. I would have liked to see it running towards this little puddle in the road. I'm sure it was moving at high speeds once it did finally lock targets. I've never seen a tortoise put its neck so far out either. It's called the leopard tortoise because of its very leopard-like colorations, you could say, certainly distinguishing it from the Speaks hinged back tortoise that you've seen with Sam just a few moments ago. They also are more kind of a ball shape. The Speaks hinged back tortoise are flatter, they're not as rounded. And off it goes. Now, a big reason why you should never touch tortoises and pick them up. I know you were just discussing with Sam if he's ever helped a tortoise turn over from if it's fallen down, upside down. And a big reason why you should never handle tortoises, especially during dry periods, is that they will urinate as a form of self-defense, losing very precious liquid. So that urination could end up causing it to die. It's, I guess, not a true pee, as it is discharging precious, precious liquid. Interestingly, I have seen tortoises fighting before. I think it was over a lady, and the one tortoise flipped the other one over onto its back. So it is something that can happen naturally. Whether or not they have the power or luck to be able to turn themselves back over, well, that's, I guess, what Mother Nature's got destined for them. Wonderful stuff. Off it goes. Boyd, you'd like to know if predators will ever be hunting during very heavy rains like we just kind of experienced as we went live initially. And yes, Boyd, certainly it's a perfect hunting condition for predators. The prey cannot hear, they cannot see. There's already a state of chaos and confusion that the predators don't even need to contribute to. The odd flash of lightning may also help the predator, and that the prey may lose its whatever night vision they may have slowly acquired. So yes, I think a lot of kills are made during heavy rain, but this is just a speculation of mine. Of course, there's variables. I mean, if a pride of lion is asleep and it starts hammering down with rain, I don't think they're all of a sudden going to jump up and be like, come, let's go hunting. It's a good opportunity. Not necessarily, but you can imagine if a pride of lion is kind of pursuing a herd of buffalo, or a leopard is keeping an eye on a herd of impala, and then the heavens open, it's going to be a very good opportunity for them to snipe forward and attempt to make a kill. But yeah, sadly, in all my career, I haven't spent huge amounts of time with animals or these predators in the pouring rain. But I feel strongly that they will capitalize on that chaos and confusion, like I say. They can't really hide anywhere, so they may as well make the most of it. Hello, Joey, aka the Monkey Man in Australia. You would like to know what is the largest leopard tortoise I have ever seen? Well, the one behind us there was probably about that big, which is kind of half a melon, half a green melon. The average green melon, I'd say, is a good kind of description of how big that one was. The biggest leopard tortoises I've seen would probably be half the size of a soccer ball in this area, and in other parts of South Africa they do get far larger. Further south of us, in the Cape region, the leopard tortoises do get considerably larger. So it does depend on where you are, but the biggest ones here in the Sabi Sands, I'd say, is half a soccer ball. Good, we're going to send you across to Sam, who is at the hyena den.
Welcome back, everyone. here we are at the hyena den. It is my first time here at the hyena den, so I'm very excited to actually see and experience this place. As you can see, one of the hyenas are looking slightly miserable, but just lying there after the nice rains. And we've got some hyenas up in the den itself. And, you know, so me being my first time and being new here, I really don't know which hyena is which. So if any viewers know some of the hyenas, do you think you can let me know and help me out and just give me some tips on how to learn a little bit more about these hyenas? But as you can see now, you can see the youngsters are out. Yesterday when we sat next to that watering hole and we watched those much older ones playing, it was an incredible sighting. And you know, I've only really seen it with youngsters, and so it's great to actually watch the youngsters play and watch the adults play yesterday, or sub-adults. But it's incredible to see how I wonder how old it. Does any of the viewers know how old these pups are? I'd love to know. I know apparently they're somewhere around January, November, December. Which one is November? Which one's who is who? Give me some tips. I'd love to know. But look at them playing. Hey? One thing I think I didn't mention yesterday, and I was lying in my bed last night thinking, you know, those jaws are so powerful, and they were just playing with each other with those jaws, like just taking little bites, but not really taking a big bite. And look at them playing. They really get in there with their jaws. I mean, did you know that a hyena's jaw is strong enough to even crack the boneyard of a giraffe? I mean, that's quite sheer power right there. Oh, sweet, man. The rains really have brought a lot of joy to the bush from what I've seen, or especially to the hyenas. They've had a fantastic time. Look at them. Sweet, and it's great to see the difference as they're growing older with the much darker fur when they're youngsters to how they actually start developing their spots. Wow. And yesterday we had two of them coming to our vehicle and just sniffing around and having a look and seeing who I am, you know. Who is Sam? Why is he coming to Djuma Game Reserve and having a look at me? Wow, look at them. Wow, sweet. Oh, wow, sweet, man. Oh, sweet. Guys, I just got such a great update from Kim B, who just explained to me which one was which out there. November 1, December 1, and January. I think that's how it went, but I think I need to spend a little bit more time with each one to start figuring out which one is which. So hopefully if I do get this job from the interview, I'll get to spend a lot more time with these youngsters and get to show you guys a lot more of them. So thank you, Kim B, for updating me on the hyenas here. It was really informative. Highly appreciate it. And I'll spend a lot more time ideating them and getting to know them a bit better. And I hope that you will be here along with my experience, learning from them and watching them grow and seeing what differences evolve over time with the youngsters and what social dynamics will begin to play out as they grow into their later years. But wow, they are really having a good time this morning. And apparently, I mean, as I said yesterday, I was sitting at home no, 3 days ago, sorry, when I was sitting at home about to come to Chuma Game Reserve, and I was sitting in my room in Hout Bay in Cape Town, and I switched on my computer, and there was James Hendry and Scott Dyson, who I hadn't met before, were sitting here, probably somewhere around here, and the lions came out of nowhere. Like, I was hooked. I just couldn't stop watching the screen to see what they were doing, and the lions actually got on top of the den, and I got very excited. It was great to watch that, and so it just shows you, the bush is so unpredictable. You never know when a predator might come out of anywhere. So as much as they are playing around here, I'm sure they will always be aware of things that are coming and moving around the bush. Oh, we've got two standing up here. Cool. Hyenas are exceptionally interesting creatures, and I look forward to learning more about their social dynamics. As I think most of you will know that they are matriarchal, so the females run this den. And I am told, and I've learned, that it can be quite a harsh lifestyle for some of the males when they're youngsters, because they rear up the ladies and bring them up so that they can be matriarchs. So sometimes it can be quite difficult for a male. Ooh, can you smell that, man?
Lovely, eh?
Wow, that's quite a powerful smell. I wish you guys all over the world could smell what I'm smelling right now. What do you think that is, Wium?
Probably just the hyenas.
Yeah. Can I describe it? Can I describe that smell? Wium, can you describe that smell?
5-day-old buffalo carcass.
Yeah, somewhere around a 5-day-old buffalo carcass. There we go. So try and having a conversation while having that up your nose. But I guess you get used to it after a while. Billy Joe on Twitter is telling me that I should be careful of them taking out some of the tires. Yes, thank you. I will be very, very vigilant. I'll maybe put up one of those GoPros next to my tires to make sure that they're not coming to get them. I'd hate to start this job and be responsible for losing all the tires to the vehicles so that you guys couldn't see the beautiful hyenas. So thank you, Billy Joe. I'll definitely take that in mind. I've had, as I said yesterday, some very interesting encounters with hyenas. Just sleeping out, and hyenas kept coming into our campsite, and I still didn't know like what the dynamic of it. Well, look, just before I go into that story, look at them all playing. The youngsters are all playing on top there. What a great sighting, That's beautiful. But as I was saying, I wasn't used to the way in which they are, and they kept coming into my campsite, and I got very, very scared. I must say, I used to wake up everyone in my camp. But I've learned that you just have to shine your torch at them and lift your arms a little bit, and they will run away into the distance. But maybe they'll come back, which they actually did a few times that night. Yeah. Look at how many hyenas are here this morning. Oh, they've all just gone around the back. Looks like they're playing a game of tag. Tag, you're it. Oh, sweet. Sweet. Where are you guys going? Oh. Tag. Oh, wow. Okay, so I've just had an update that one of the females that are up and about here playing is named Pretty. Is the one chasing the other one, that's right. Thank you, Nikki, in the control room, with giving me some updates. So I think it was Billy Joe and Nikki that are helping me out with my hyenas. And Kim, yes, thank you, Kim. Wow, I've been very lucky, eh? Yesterday I watched hyenas playing, and today I've been watching hyenas playing. They've been very good to me while I've been here on my interviews. They really allowed me to relax. Yesterday, just watching them play, I was, quite nervous, as you could have told. And ooh, have a look, he's right. Hello, Samuel. Pretty. Hello, Samuel. How are you? Welcome to Juma Game Reserve. My name's Pretty. I'm quite pretty. Oh, look how curious they are. Sweet. Yo, that's a big belly, eh? Have a look at that belly there, Wium. Wow, Pretty. Looks like she wants to have another cub. It's so incredible for me to have hyenas so close to me. I've never had this before. I'm sure you viewers have seen this a few times, but for me, this is a first. Hi there, Heather in Ontario. That's a very good question. Thank you for that. From what I understand is hyenas, as they become, yes, the question was that they wanted to know, what age do they actually start going out and hunt with their mothers and fathers, it's a good question. From what I understand is that they will be living in the den for a couple months, and when they feel that they're ready to take them out, they'll take them out. But generally they, and I suspect, I would actually love for a viewer to let me know if they know the exact date or the exact amount of time it takes for them to actually go out with the parents. But I'm guessing it's just after just a few months, 3 to 4, and before they start moving outside of the den. But you can imagine it's very dangerous for a youngster to be leaving the den at a young age, and so that's what my guess would be. But if you have any other answers for me, please tweet it in and help me learn. As I said, if I do get this position here, I would love to learn with you and through you and through the bush. It's one big learning experience for all of us. Oh, sweet. Wow. So how was that, everyone? What an interesting morning here with our hyenas. They've really helped. Ooh, that smell, sheepers. I got quite a big whiff of that one there, but that smell is quite powerful. But it's been a really good morning. We've just been watching them play. If anyone has just come online, we've been sitting with the hyenas, and they've been playing and running around, playing tag around the den. And yesterday I was exceptionally lucky to be watching them play in the water yesterday. So the rain has been very kind to us all lately. No. Marianne in Arkansas has just told me that, was it December 1, has a white foot. That's right. So, Wium, do you reckon you can... Ooh, sorry, guys. I don't know if I spoke too loud there. Just going to soften it down a little bit, everyone. Can you see where December 1 might be?
They might be still in the hall.
Inside the den?
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't look like these two.
But thank you very much for that. I will remember December 1 with a white foot at the back. December 1 with a white foot at the back. Sweet. Thank you so much, Linda. Linda Scrogan, who has just told me that they will start leaving the den at around 6 to 8 months. Thank you so much, really. I really am grateful for you letting me know that and just giving me some knowledge behind that. That's great. It's so important that we can learn and learn more about the hyenas through the viewers. So, but on that note, I'm going to link through to Scott, and we will be seeing you just now. Thank you so much. Bye.
Well, seriously sounds like Sam is having some great time with the hyena, not only today, but also yesterday. He had a fascinating sighting with Brian. We've got some good news. There are tracks of lion that appear to cross into Djuma from our eastern boundary called Cheetah Cut Line, and they look like they're heading towards the Buffelshoek waterhole. So we basically saw the tracks off to our right, to our east, coming towards us in a westerly direction, and if we don't find their tracks or the animals popping out onto this road, then I'm guessing they're somewhere still in this thick block of vegetation, so I'll need to probably go in on foot. The tracks did seem quite fresh. I think they may have got up just after it started raining recently now. I saw where they had all been lying in the road, and they may have run off that open road in order to try and get under some leaves for whatever sparse shelter that may assist with. Come on, where are the tracks? Where are the tracks? I was hoping they would have popped out by now. Either way, good prospects. Very, very good prospects. Who knows, maybe there's even going to be one of the Birmingham males with them. A coalition of 5 big males reign dominant over this area, and it's been a long time since we've seen them. Come on, lions. I'm hoping that we're just going to find them lounging at the Buffelshoek waterhole, which is just around 1 or 2 more corners. What I'm hoping is that they haven't just snuck through the northeastern corner of our property straight into our northern neighbors. There is a chance that they have done that, though, so I will forewarn you. Kind of the opposite of what they did when they were heading to Torchwood, where they've been for the last few days. They also snuck through our property, but in the opposite direction. It can be deceptive. You would think rain is going to help soften the roads, and yes, it will, but only certain roads. Certain substrates will become a lot softer for a certain time period that will receive tracks well and therefore make tracking easy, whereas other substrates, like the one we're driving on right now, is rock hard. So it's solidified, and whatever fine film of dust there was on top of that initially before the rain is now no longer. So Some areas are hard, some areas are easy. But I'm confident that the lions have not passed over this road. And just want to make sure they haven't kind of come through the bush to the water's edge. Wow, look at how much water's here. That is phenomenal. Cannot believe it. Okay. Well, I'm not going to waste too much time here, but a quick little pan of the water. Oh, look at how much water has filled up. That is great, great news. I'm not sure what it was like yesterday. I haven't been here since the rain we got 2 nights ago, but it's certainly a huge improvement. So that's great stuff. I can happily report that Sam and Wium are making their way into this general area to give us a hand with trying to track down the lions, so that's going to be useful. In this cool weather, the lions could well be on the move, and even though we've driven this road now, it may be useful for somebody to drive it again. Basically what I'm doing now is I'm doing a complete circle around the block that these lions headed into. At least I hope they headed in. So I had a very quick look at the tracks, and some were certainly coming into Djuma, but maybe they came in and then went back out around the next corner of the road. Anything is possible. I'm just hoping that they did come this way, or continue this way at least. Hi, Whitney on Twitter. You would like to know how to tell the difference between a tortoise and a terrapin. Well, you'll never see tortoises submerging themselves in water. Of course, if a terrapin is out the water, that may be a little bit more confusing. Their shells don't have patterns or coloration. They are a uniform dull grey color. So that would be one of the major things. They've got webbed feet for swimming, so if you are to open the foot of a terrapin, you would see the webbing, whereas a tortoise doesn't have webbed feet. What else? I'm not too sure what other differences there could be. Maybe some of you guys can help out. Terrapins have often got very cryptic colorations on their heads, interestingly enough. Not all terrapins, but some terrapins I've noticed. In terms of size, I mean, they can vary. You get big terrapins, big tortoises, small tortoises. I guess, again, as a general rule, though, the tortoises will be more rounded and terrapins will be flatter. They're not like a soccer ball chopped in half, terrapins. Although the Speke's hingeback tortoise is quite a flat tortoise, so you do get a few flat tortoises. I think you even get a tortoise called a pancake tortoise, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I think that was up in East Africa, unless I'm dreaming. Where are you, lions? Well, notice I'm driving quite quickly for a tracking exercise, and that's because I'm trying to make sure that they are not on the move and have not already crossed out of our property. Okay, so now this is our northern boundary. And what I'm probably going to do is just stop quickly. Oh no, I don't have my map to show you. I've given that to Sam so that he doesn't get lost. But basically we are just checking the northeastern corner of the property. I could draw it in the sand quickly, I guess. Let me do that. Show you what's going on here. Let's put the camera on the right there so I know what my canvas looks like. just on the ground. I'm going to just draw on the sand. Cool. So, this is our eastern boundary, okay? This is our northern boundary. This is Buffelshoek Dam over here. There's a road over here, and basically the lions came in over here. We've just driven along a road that took us to the dam and past it, so the lions are somewhere in this triangle. And we are now we've checked from here along all the way here. Now we're going to continue from here and do a full circle, completely encompass this block to make sure the lions are still somewhere in the middle. Once we've established that, then we can go for a walk in the block. So hopefully that gives a better idea of what we're up to. Okay, one of you just sent through a question wondering if lions can smell water, Cecilia. And yes, they certainly can. They've got very, very good senses of smell, and water will be something that they will be able to detect with their noses. Now, I'm preparing myself for the worst here, and that is that these lions, we may find their tracks crossing here. Failing that, we are going to be lucky, because if they haven't crossed out of here, then they must be somewhere still on. Oh, no. I think they've crossed. I've just seen some tracks here. What is it of, though? What are you? Look, it's a tiny baby hippopotamus. These tracks I can see, not a lion. So we may be still be in luck. Check over on this side, right? Not easy to see. You can see a few faint depressions on the ground here to our right. Not easy because the vehicle's in the way, but I think those are from a baby hippopotamus, not in fact the lions. Let me just jump out and have a closer look. Make sure the lions aren't anywhere nearby. Yeah, this is a tiny hippo. A miniature hippo. Now that I've got, can you see this one?
I can.
You can see one toe, two toe, three toe, four toe, and this is the back pad. So a minute little hippo. Its mother's tracks are up ahead. Much larger, but not easy to see. Cute! So, let's hope the lions didn't come across that, because I would certainly have tried to consume it. Okay. I would suggest that VM and Sam, when they do get into this area, possibly to check Hippo Pools Road. So that's something that Nikki can relate to them. Just going to keep in touch with Taxon and Ephraim as well, as they're also coming into this area to give us a hand. I'm just checking you guys copied my updates of those Mkonzo heading northwest into Djuma, over Cheetah Cutline, north of Pipeline. Probably I've circled the block along Hippo Pools Road, Buffelshoek Dam East. I think they are still in the block. So I'm going to go for a quick walk. Okay. So we're about to complete this big circle that we've done around the block. I'll be able to show you the lion tracks, and from there we're probably gonna get you guys back onto Sam's vehicle for a bit as I explore on foot, as that is the most effective way of trying to find big game on foot. To drive off-road trying to follow their track would be near impossible, well, entirely impossible. It's hard enough whilst walking to work out where they've gone. They may not be hugely inclined to move big distances and or feed, because they did catch an adult female buffalo. So that was not yesterday, the day before, I think, or possibly the day before that. But basically, they've been feeding on buffalo until probably some stage last night when they abandoned the carcass, as there would have been nothing left for them to snack on. I think Ephraim did go there, one of the guides who does have access to that property, and he says that there's only vultures there finishing off the scraps. See some disturbance on the road yet. Hard to tell. Yeah, it is where a lion has slept. The rest of them are sleeping further ahead of us. It's difficult to see from here, but I will be able to show you this kind of scuffle on the ground here. And if you zoom in, Dave, if you go back a bit, over there's a track. You can faintly see where my finger is, that there are some toe marks of where a lion has stood, but it was before the rain. So I think they're somewhere not too far away from us in this block. Tracks here all over the road. These ones look fresher. This looks to me like it could have been, some of which after the rain. If you take a look here, Dave, very clear lion tracks here. So I'm going to take a short walk into the block and try and work out where they've gone. They have headed into Juma. It's not easy to see, but let me show you here. There's a few very faint paw marks. This is after the rain, sadly, but it is heading in to Juma. So I'm going to continue on foot and see if we don't get lucky. I'm going to take this little handheld radio so I can be in comms with Dave. If I do get lucky, I might get him to drive the vehicle into the block if we do find them. So that's that. Sam is also going to be working the area. I've told him to check the road hippo pools that I have already checked, and we're going to send you across to him right now. See you later.
Welcome back, everyone. Back to Sam and Wium in the vehicle. We've just been with the hyena cubs, and that was fantastic. I had a great time down there and learned a new thing or two with some of the guests and viewers that have been with me. It's been an incredible 2 days for me. I haven't slept much as I was quite tired, thinking about all the sort of things that comes with guiding for the first time with a camera behind you. But it's been exceptionally exciting, and yeah, I thank you for allowing my nerves not to overtake my driving and all of that, so thanks. But here we sit just outside, I think it's Gowrie Cutline, and we were just sitting with some of the birds, a hornbill and a starling, and they've just left us, unfortunately, and I know Scott's now on tracks, the lion tracks, so we're going to let him go out on the lion tracks, and I just want to just experiment this thing one more time, if you guys are willing to participate with me on this experience. So we just saw a Cape glossy starling. So do we know the names of all the different starlings? I know one is the Burchell's starling, the Cape glossy starling, and the greater blue-eared starling. So that's the ones that I know. Let me know if there's any others. I don't think there are. But
Isn't there a purple one or something?
Oh yes, there's a purple one. Eh? I know in Cape Town where I live, we get the red-winged starling. Violet-backed. Thank you very much, Nikki, in the control room. Got my back. So anyway, we're just going to quickly show you this device and see how it works. The starling. So we go to starling. $276. Okay, so here are all our different starlings. As we said, the violet-back starling, which I've actually seen before, so I should have known that, seen that. And then there's what we just saw was the Cape glossy starling, the greater blue-eared starling. Oh, we've got the black-bellied starling, Meave starling, and the Burchells. All right, so can anyone tell me what sound that was? That was just the opening of this device. There was a bird call there. If anyone can tweet in what they thought that was, please let me know. Otherwise, this is how this works. Go in, and we just saw the Cape glossy starling. So we just put it on like that. Incredible, eh? That you can literally just put this on the book and it's going to play a sound for us. So I know I said it again, I said it yesterday, but today, you know, I think it's a great device. It helps us to understand and learn a little bit more about these birds. And so I'm now going to pay attention to that bird call and see if we can find it again. All right, we're going to head off in this direction. While Scott's going to be looking for those tracks, we're going to see what we can find and see if we can help him. Let's get moving on the road, everyone. Jen in Minnesota just asked me what is my favorite animal to watch. Wow. My favorite animal to watch. I said yesterday that the black eagle in the Cederberg Mountains just outside Cape Town has without a doubt been my favorite bird to watch, just because, you know, in the Cederberg we have two main predators there, and that's the black eagle and the Cape leopard. And the Cape leopard is half the size of the Savannah leopard. So if you can imagine, if you've seen the Savannah leopard, have a look and type in on Google or whatever, and have a look at the Cape leopard. It's half the size of the Savannah leopard, and it controls a much, much greater territory. And why I'm bringing the Cape leopard into this conversation is because the black eagle and the Cape leopard are in direct competition with each other, because in that mountain range there's no other predator. So you'll see when you're tracking a Cape leopard on foot, in the distance you'll start seeing a black eagle come down and dive bomb the leopard, and that's an indication to where that leopard is. So yeah, so I've thoroughly enjoyed watching the black leopard. Thank you very much. Tasha, you were asking what was my favorite bird, and that goes without a doubt. It's the black eagle. It's just such a beautiful eagle that when you watch it flying high above the sky, you'll see. Okay, just hold on, everyone. Liam, whereabouts am I?
Left or right? This is cheetah cut line.
Left or right? This is cheetah cut line, everyone. So we're going to go left here. This is the eastern boundary, and once again, I don't know anywhere and don't know what I'm doing on this property. So if you see me getting lost, or just let me know and help me out if you feel like you need to. But just going back, I also want to say, each and every bird has its own beauty and its own way of, its own design of living, and I'm very fascinated by every single bird. So to actually say that one bird is my favorite would actually be a lie. I'm hugely intrigued by how each and every single bird is able to live on this beautiful planet and experience life the way it does. They've all adapted. Everything's adapted and molded to this planet, much like we have. So I enjoy all my birds. But I must say, when I was traveling through Brazil and I saw tucanos, I was amazed by the tucanos. They're such beautiful, with those big, bright beaks. It's incredible. And Sasha, what is your favorite bird? I'd love to know what yours is. Nancy and Jen B. Well done for figuring out that first bird call that was on that device. It was in fact the African fish eagle. Well done. I'm highly impressed. I have to hear the sound of that bird every single time I switch on that device, so I know pretty well what is what. It looks like we're coming to Scotch. Is that right, Phil? Okay, I'm gonna go and find out from Scott where we're gonna go say hello to, it's just Dave. Scott's out tracking. I'm gonna see and ask Dave where the best place I could go and look for tracks and see if I can help out with this exploration. But as you can tell, Scott's on foot at the moment. And so I can't get out the vehicle and look with him, but I'm going to see if I can go somewhere on my vehicle. How's it going, Dave? Is it going all right?
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Has he just gone down there? Did you guys come from down here?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to head and see if we can find tracks.
Oh.
Sweet. That was Dave, everyone. So we've got VM behind my camera. And we've got Dave. Okay, so I've just got an update from Scott saying that the best thing I should do is go and carry on straight here and turn left into the block and then carry on left again and see if I can find some tracks and help him. Because I would love to find you guys either a leopard or a lion this morning. It would help me with my interview drive, I think, quite a lot if I can help find a predator. So I actually need you guys to be my eyes as well. See if you can see anything in the distance while I'm looking at you. Donna in South Carolina. I do believe that there's limited beginner's luck, and then that's exactly what I'm going to go and do now. I'm not sure of all the roads. I think I'm going to... Is it this one. Can I go down here?
This is the fire break.
Is this the fire break?
Yeah, we can go down.
Let's go down the fire break. So I'm going to do my best to find something. Let's see what we can do. You know what, to be honest, guys, I'm just excited to be out in the Savi Sands. I know if I did get the job, I'd have the opportunity to learn more about the roads and where the leopards are. I think most of our viewers know and understand where some of the leopards are and that sort of stuff. So I'm excited to begin to learn and understand the different territories, see what we have. All right. Hi there, Amy in California. Your question was, what is the biggest difference between lion and leopard tracks? Firstly, a lion track is a lot bigger than a leopard track. So when you're walking and you're out tracking and you see a big track, it's going to most likely be a lion's, and you'll see at the back. I mean, let's see if I got my book here. I'm going to quickly show you quick. This is my book, Signs of the Wild, that I've had since I started. It's been my best friend. Leopard. 96. All right. So have a look here, guys. That's the leopard track over here. Okay. And this is the lion track. So what you'll notice is that the lion track is quite a lot bigger than the leopard track. And also, there's those definite marks over there. But you'll also see that in the lion. The lion also has big, like, coming down here. We'll see it here as well. So 3 lobes, that's the one. Thank you, Nikki. 3 lobes. There's a good indication. So it's much easier to find and see tracks in the morning and the afternoon where the sun is at a tilt, and you can see. So let's see if we can find one of those tracks. I think the road that I'm on now, what road are we on, dude?
It's Buffelshoek fire break. Buffelshoek fire break.
The woodlands king. Hi, Natasha. You said that it's the finch and the robin, if that's correct. Those are 2 beautiful birds. Yeah, I know all birds are very beautiful, but those 2 in particular are very beautiful. And over here we have a woodlands kingfisher, much like the kingfisher that we saw yesterday. We've seen quite a lot of the woodlands kingfisher. I actually once saw a woodlands kingfisher catch a small bat. Can you believe that? That was quite an interesting experience that I once had. But if you can just have a look at that design there of that kingfisher, they're so well designed for waterine areas to catch and snip things off the ground. Oh, there he goes. But I was having a watch at Scott's That's Scott's one yesterday, and he was showing you how it had that call. It's such a beautiful call, hey? All right, so let's keep looking, guys. I'm going to see what we can find. I'm saying that I should go left here. Hello, Tammy in Seattle. I didn't actually see any hummingbirds while I was in Brazil. The work that I was doing in Brazil was to do lectures in biomimicry at all the different universities, and so I was going to Sao Paulo and Rio and Brasilia and doing talks on how we can learn from natural systems. If you can just give me 2 seconds. Alright, so over here I've got a plant, if you can see, and biomimicry. Just to explain, I was telling quite a few people what it was yesterday, but it's something that, you know, I really need the genius of the natural world to help me with. And biomimicry is essentially learning from natural shapes and designs. And in Brazil, this is what I was doing. So I never got to see the hummingbird, but I was doing lectures in biomimicry, learning about and teaching people how we could learn from the design of the natural world. You can see just from this leaf how it can capture water over there and send water down into the stem and down the water to its leaf. And you know, how is this capturing sunlight? If you think about our solar panels, think about your solar panels on your roofs. They're all standing at a horizontal degree like this. And what if we actually had solar panels that could move with the sunlight? So biomimicry is about exploring and understanding the way in which nature adapts to its changing conditions and allows us to become more efficient in our own lives. So that's just an explanation, a quick explanation of biomimicry. I hope that helps you understand it a little bit better. But I was also very privileged to go down the Amazon River, and while I was on the Amazon River, I was learning and seeing many different types of other birds, and I was exceptionally lucky. And I must say, if I have a favorite bird from Brazil, it would have been the macaw, the blue macaw. Have a look at the blue macaw. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Rio. That main character bird is actually called the blue macaw, and it's just such a beautiful bird. It flies around gregariously around the rivers of, mainly in the Pantanal. You mainly find it around the Pantanal. So I was very privileged to see that. Wow. All right, everyone. Thanks again for being in Safari. I'm going to be back just now. I see Scott's just come off his vehicle. Let's find out what Scott has been seeing on his walk. Cheers for now.
So my little walk did not provide us with any further information, sadly. It appears like, on closer inspection, the rain has fallen after these lions have moved, therefore kind of washing away their tracks, making it hard to follow them. But Texan said he seemed to think he had some tracks that did cross over Hippo Pools Road, which is a road that I did check and didn't see any tracks crossing. So, it's good news, still good prospects. It seems like these lions have headed deeper into Juma as opposed to away from us. So anywhere here, we could get lucky. Looks to be some large tracks of Birmingham males alongside the smaller lioness tracks. So that's what's getting me really excited. I know a lot of you will be over the moon if we get to see the Birmingham boys again. It's been a very, very long time. I think possibly even last year. No, hang on. Is that even possible? I think it is possible. I think last year may have been the last sightings of the Birmingham males. I think that could have even been with me. Following, was it Scrapper? One male, I think it was Scrapper, following one male around. He was pacing backwards and forwards, trying to work something out. We never got to the bottom of it, but that was a long while ago on the 24th of December. Oh, that's a problem. Sorry, my lapel had, which is this little microphone that you can probably now hear me talking through, but couldn't before. It's fallen off my shirt and down to my belly button. Which would have been of no assistance to you guys hearing me. But I think we're back on track now. Safari Dean, you are interested to know when or how long will it take for some fish to repopulate the waterholes? Sure. I don't know. It's a very, very good question. I mean, there could well be some catfish that have got themselves into a safe position below the mud in a mucous membrane that they can breathe through. They don't need to breathe through gills like regular fish, the catfish. So they have the ability of kind of lying dormant, waiting for better times, which have arrived now. There's water in the Buffelshoek waterhole, so will they squirm out of the mud and make the most of what little water's there and then re-squirm themselves back into the mud when it dries out? I'm not too sure. I think we're just going to have to keep an eye on the birds that feed on fish, and when they start frequenting the waterholes again, I think that'll be an indication that the fish are becoming more active again. But I don't think it's going to be any time soon. I think the fish may know to wait for better times. But I've never been through a drought before, so there's a lot that we are all going to learn in the coming months, including myself. The last drought in this area was in 2002. I was still at high school back then. So my lack of knowledge of a drought is not going to put me in a good position to answer that question accurately. PK in Iowa, you have asked a very, very, very good question, and one that I'm having to think long and hard about. You've noticed that over time, watching the various waterhole cameras that WildEarth have, that you've never seen porcupine, aardvark or pangolin ever drinking at them, and therefore are they not water dependent? And I guess maybe not. No, I've never seen any of those three animals drinking myself. An animal like a porcupine will, I think, be able to acquire a lot of moisture from the roots and bulbs and bark that it feeds on. Aardvark, I can't even imagine what it looks like when it drinks because it's got such a bizarre mouth. Check this out. Let's get it in the book. How do you drink out of a mouth like that? Interesting beast. So, it doesn't say anything in this book about drinking. I'm sure there are other books that will provide us with better information and more information on them. Thanks, Dave. But no, I guess the fact that after all the time that the waterhole cameras have been up at Djuma during especially the dry months now, like the drought we've been experiencing, and in the winter months, if you've never seen a porcupine, aardvark or pangolin come into any of the various waterhole cameras that we have, it would be a good indicator that they're not heavily water reliant. That's not to say though that they don't have the odd drink when the opportunity avails itself to them, but I don't think they will go out of their way to do it. Otherwise, naturally, you would think you guys would have spotted some more on the waterhole cameras. Good question, PK. And one that we may need to do a little bit more research on when back at camp and have access to bigger books with more information. It definitely has got the brain ticking. So thank you for that. James Richards, thank you for confirming that it was in fact Scrapper the day before Christmas. Running around, you said possibly he was in a panic because he had some last minute shopping to do for the lioness. And I think that's spot on, looking back on it. Where are you, lions? Come on. We are all so excited to see you. Sam is still in the general area, so who knows, hopefully he will get lucky. I would love to see the smile on his face if he does manage to find all these lion. Shame we haven't managed to show him any big cats, and he is heading out today after this drive, so it would be a great pity if he doesn't see any. But at the rate he's going, I'm hoping he is going to be coming back here in the near future and getting settled in, but only time will tell. It sounds like he's found an animal that we'd like to show you, one that we have been discussing earlier, so go on and check it out for yourself. Welcome back, everyone. Over here we have the sweetest little terrapin. Look at him, he's so little. He's so cute. There really has just been an abundance of terrapins. There's actually another one over here. Wium, can you show that one as well, please?
The one to the right.
The one just to the left. You see him? Over there. Oh, there we go. So they're youngsters. So this is a very difficult time for these little terrapins. They're the early ages of their lives, and you know, any predator such as an owl or an eagle can come and easily take one of these little guys, and so I'm hoping they're going to find some cover soon. But how sweet are they? Hey? Wow. Very, very cute. Patrick, here's my hat. I'm wearing my hat right now. What happened was the rain was a bit wet this morning, so I decided to put it on only a little bit later and actually just drive in the rain. Sometimes I like just having my hat off, getting the rain in my face and experiencing the bush. But I'm told that a lot of you guys thought that there was a smiley face on my hat. Is this what you think? This little smiley face. Do you want to give this? Do you want to give the smiley face a name, or we just want to say maybe the side of Sam's head face? I don't know. Let me know if it gets distracting. I totally understand if it does get distracting, but you have to understand that this is a hat that has brought me many, many memories and much luck over my past. Think of all the little things that you have that have taken you through your experiences in life. And I must say, if it's two things that I love the most, it's this hat and these shoes. These are my fillies, which I've had for 2 years. So I cherish my things. So thank you very much. I'm going to put it back on. I can actually see that smiley face now. He's smiling back at you. Well, actually, maybe I should give him a little bit more of a smile. There we go. All right. Thank you, little terrapins. Have a beautiful day. Look after yourself, and we'll see you a bit later. We are off to find some lions. Look at all this water. I just want to show you guys this water. This water is going to bring a lot to Djuma. It's going to bring a lot of the herbivores back into the area, which will bring what? What will the herbivores bring? Lots and lots of other predators. So I'm going to keep my eye out. Kathy in Tennessee and Joyce from Pennsylvania. Hold on, I don't want to drive over a terrapin. Look at the little one over here. You see him again? You see his head's popping out there. Anyway, you got to be very careful. I don't want to drive over terrapins, so I'm just trying to be careful as I can be. Oh, there's one right here. See. Right, we're going to look after our beautiful animals on this beautiful reserve. Just going back to that question. So the question was, you know, where am I from and where did I learn to guide, and a little bit of my story. So in 2013, I did my honors and masters studying in ecological design and understanding sustainability. And I was learning about the genius of the natural world, and in a book I was learning a lot about how we can learn designs from the natural world and apply them to human systems to make our systems a little bit more efficient. And it just felt very like it didn't make sense to me that I wasn't actually experiencing any of the natural world, and that's when I decided to become a guide. That was just 3 years ago. And from there I went straight to Londolozi Game Reserve, just about maybe 10-15 kilometers south from here, and that's where I did all my training, where I walked into my first lions and my first cheetah, and got trained up as a game ranger. And from there I left the bush, so I actually haven't been back here for about a year, so 8 months of training in the bush. So I still have so much to learn here in the Sabi Sands. And that's why I'm very excited. If I get this opportunity, I get to learn with you and through you back in this ecosystem. But from there, I went off to the top of Cape Town, to the Cederberg Mountains, and I just want to get through this hole. And I went off to the Cederberg Mountains, and I went and looked and tracked for Cape leopards, and worked with children. You can actually find a link on YouTube. If you have a look on YouTube, type Sam Chev Cedarburg, and you'll see a little clip that I did there. I used to do environmental education up in the north there, teaching kids the importance of biodiversity and the importance of biodiversity for their social well-being, and how it is good for our minds and how it's good for our bodies to be with the natural world. So that's what I was doing there. And then from there, I went off to England and I did a further master's, and that's when I got the opportunity to go and work and live in Brazil. My girlfriend was in Brazil at the time and traveled many places, went to the Pantanal, saw jaguar, saw puma, saw many different birds. So I'm still coming back from many, many different ecosystems, you know, the Pantanal, the Cedarburg, the savannah, and now I'm back here. So that's a very quick and brief history of Sam Chevalier. And yes, I also forgot to mention that I have a twin brother, and his name is Thomas, and he is my best friend in the whole world, and I miss him all the time. Hi there, James Richard. You are quite excited to see an African land snail. I would love to see one myself. I would absolutely love one. Ooh, we're going into quite a dip here. Guys, if you've noticed, the water is just being outrageous. So I'm going to do my best to find an African land snail. Let's see if we can find one. But, you know, just to go back, if you have a look, can we just have a look at these clouds, Wium? I don't know if you guys can get a good look at this. I'm sure this will be a nice thing for a lot of the viewers to see as the clouds are forming, and this is a great sign for the savannah and the Sabi sands, as it's going to bring a lot of rain to this area. As I said earlier, rain brings us the herbivores and brings us the predators. And so it's very important. So look, I'm in a jacket. I'm in a rain jacket, which means that there's going to be more rain, hopefully. Tell you what, the elephants and the buffaloes are going to love these little watering holes. Hi there, Shamrock. You know, the question was, it was a long question based on, you know, I have an interest in ecological intelligence and adaptations, and that's correct. You know, I'm very fascinated by how things adapt to their environments and, you know, how everything evolved into such a space. And it's always been an interest of mine, and you know, specifically in the fields of ecology. You know, how does the system work? How do plants and trees and birds and predators all live together in an ecosystem that creates the outcome it does? So, you know, that's very much a systems thinking approach, and I've been trying to learn more about, you know, the influence of a predator on an ecosystem and how that allows to create more biodiversity. So just like I was speaking a little bit earlier with the Cape leopard, that Cape leopard in the Cedarburg Mountains allows for a number of species to exist because of the Cape leopard. Why? It's because the Cape leopard regulates the organisms that eat too much of the plant species, the herbivores. So if you start to understand that, then you start to see that the predator is incremental and a very, very important part of an ecosystem. And as soon as you start losing those predators, then you begin to lose the ecosystem itself. So this is a very, very important thing to understand, and for me at least to understand is because sometimes we don't create the connection between sociology, the interaction of humans, and the ecology, and how they are they separated. We often study things in separation. I found that school did that for me. I went and learnt about geography. I learnt about landscapes and geology, the types of rocks and types of rainfall and all that sort of stuff. And then I went into my biology class and I started studying the intricate parts of a leopard and a frog, and I started to we would open up frogs to have a look at and see their anatomy and that sort of stuff. That was a very kind of a machine approach, I believe, to understanding nature, because we didn't really see the connection between the leopard and the landscape. What is the connection between the leopard and the landscape, and what is that dynamic? What is that relationship? And I think sometimes that we overlook the little things and we don't see the relationships. We just look at things in parts. So yes, to answer that question, I think I am super interested in evolutionary biology, understanding how we can learn from the natural world and to see what our place is as the human species, so that we don't have to decimate everything that we do in the cities. How do we begin to grow the ecology of the outdoors into the ecology of our cities? Because they are intricately connected. Wow. All right, guys. Okay, guys, we're going to link back to Scott for an update. I'm going to do my best now to see if I can find an animal, a herbivore, maybe a zebra or giraffe, or hopefully a predator. Get back to you now. See you later.
So, no joy yet. I'm thinking of doing another short walk into the block where Taxon apparently saw some tracks of these lion. But it's tricky business because a lot of the evidence has been washed away by the rain. So until they move again, they're not, it's going to be hard for us to follow their tracks. That is the problem we're facing. And to walk around, obviously it increases our chances greatly of finding them in any one of these blocks, but I fear that they could have possibly crossed over a couple of roads without us actually knowing about it, because like I said, the evidence has been washed clean. So I'm having the debate now as to, is it a waste of time to walk around hoping to come across them without being able to actually follow any tracks, without even knowing where their tracks have gone? See if we can get off that bird quickly. It's a gamble. There off it goes. There's a battler eagle there, and it seems to have something trailing behind its feet. Not easy to see from that angle we got there, but I think it may have had a small piece of meat. Who knows? Maybe that it was carrying back to a nest site. Hard to be certain. Hello, Nate in Nevada. Haven't heard you before, so thanks for getting in touch with us. And you're interested to know whether I think the grass will start growing from the small amounts of rain that we've received, or will it require more rain? It certainly will grow from the small amounts of rain we've recently received. It's just a matter of how long will it be able to grow for? How long will that moisture be able to sustain growth? But definitely, It'll be even worth just taking a look at these. Well, it's tricky because a lot of the vegetation is being fed on, but these little green shoots off to our right here will become bigger, but at what rate they get fed on will obviously have a direct impact on how much it may appear like it is growing. But there's definitely going to be a surge of growth. We've got a decent amount of rain now. It's certainly going to help, but for how long is the question.
Welcome back, everyone. As you would have just seen there, that things are looking fairly ominous out there. The rain is definitely coming upon us in a matter of minutes, a matter of time before it starts raining upon us, which is great. As we said earlier, it's good for the animals, it's good for everything else here, the plants, nourishment, and I know it cuts down your time of watching live safari, but it gives a lot more life to the bush that you'll be able to see in the future. As you see, I'm holding a jawbone, if you can see that. Yeah. And I want you, or you can see behind us, I was going to ask you, what jawbone do you think this is? But that skull behind you should be able to tell you what skull bone that is. Please, can you tweet in #SafariLIVE Sam, this is what I think that is. But I think it's fairly obvious to what that might be. But it's just great, as being my first time here driving around Djuma, it's great to learn more about the property and see what has already happened. This land holds a memory, it holds an experience that I'm still coming to learn. And over here we have a kill site, and it's incredible to see how things can just be left here and everything will be eaten. The vultures will finish everything. Every single part of that bone will be cleaned up. I think that this is quite a few years old, though, to be honest. But it's great to see how things are left, and all sorts of animals will still feed on this. From bacteria to the different hyenas, as we saw a bit earlier, who like to eat bones, and they can crack into any bone with those strong jaws of theirs. But have a look at these molars. Can you have a look at those molars? Can you get a good shot of that, Wium? Look at those. Those molars are there to chew grass. They chew grass. They're just grinding it at the back of their mouth. So that should also give you a little bit more of a clue to what we have on the ground here. All right, so I don't know if anyone knows. Once you know, please come and let me know what you think it is. It's someone in the bushveld that likes to wear a crown on their head, and to be honest is very, very scary on foot. So I wouldn't recommend coming across them. Always important to clean your hands after picking up bones. May I just say that? I don't know if you have bones in your backyard, but if you're any youngsters out there that see a bone and saw me picking up a bone, please just take care in washing your hands and eating safely at the dinner table. All right, guys, that was a fun little experiment to see what that was. I'm looking forward to hearing who knows the answer to the animal that is below us. Just gonna hook in. Okay, I'm back. I've got two. Comments from everyone. We got 2 answers. Deborah nearly got it with the dwarf mongoose. Obviously, it's not a dwarf mongoose. It is, in fact, a Cape buffalo. We had another answer from Ava, who said that it might be a water buffalo. Ooh, have a look at that bird in flight there. Can you see? Wow, look at it just gliding. Let me try and get a better position. Are you guys able to see that? Is that visible, Nix? Yeah. Wow. All right, guys. I thought I would just show you the tightrope walker, the bateleur flying in the sky above us. That is a very, very well-known bird in flight, as it goes like this in the sky, and it looks like it's tightroping. So that was a great little experience. But yeah, so what we saw over there was the Cape buffalo, not the water buffalo. And I think I'll send it back to the viewers just one more time. What do you think is the difference between a Cape buffalo and a water buffalo? Let me know. Hashtag SafariLIVE. I'd love to hear your thoughts. You hear that? I thought I heard something in this drainage basin. That sounded like a Franklin, that's correct. Just asked, you know, some birds have anthrax. That was correct, and I think Jamie had a conversation. Oh, some bones contain anthrax, and I think yourself and Jamie might have had that conversation. I actually have no idea. I didn't even know that some bones contained anthrax, so I'm not too sure. I'd love to find out and see what that answer is, Ben. I'll ask Jamie when I do get the opportunity to meet her. I've heard only good things about Jamie. And that's another thing. I just want to say that I've thoroughly enjoyed being here and being in the camp, whether it's from the presenters to the cameramen to just to the whole vibe of the camp. It's been such an incredible experience. They've all been very, very good to me while I've been here. And so I'm thankful to everyone. And hi there, Michelle in Michigan. Sorry. Yes, so an eagle will catch a mouse and it will bring it back to a nest for its children to feed on. That's exactly what I actually saw when I was out in the Cederberg Mountains. What the black eagle used to eat was a dassie. Does anyone know what a dassie is? Let's see if I can get you a quick picture of the dassie. I know it's right at the back here somewhere. Dassie 120. All right, so that's the dassie over there. And that is very, like, you will often see dassies in the Cederberg Mountains as well as many other baboons. And I once watched a dassie being killed by a black eagle, and it was taken to the nests that were far up in the cliffs of the Cederberg Mountains. I used my binoculars to see it all go down. So that is the rock dussie. Also heavily preyed on by the Cape leopard of the Cederberg Mountains. And then we've got an impala. As I'm sure Scott or James or any of those presenters would have told you, is that there's a lot of different indications that the bush will tell you in terms of if there are any predators around. If there was a predator around, all of a sudden you would see that the buck wouldn't run away unless it was wild dogs. If you saw wild dogs this antelope would no longer want to be here. It would be running. But with a predator such as a leopard or a lion, it often turns towards the predator and looks at it and starts barking at the predator to say that I can see you, you are in my view. And often what the leopard will do is actually say, okay, I've been seen, and it'll lift up its tail that has a little white spot at the end of the tail, and that will tell the predator, will tell the antelope that it surrenders, basically. I'm not going to try and catch you. But it didn't seem like these antelopes were doing that. It just seemed like two males that were playing with each other. It's actually coming towards the rutting season. The rutting season is around May with the impala, and this is when the males come together, and not the males come together, they split out of their bachelor herds, and they go and get harems of females of the impala. You'll often see two males just fighting during the rutting season while they're trying to be dominant over their harems of females. I'm looking forward to that. I hope I get to experience some impala rutting in May with you if I manage to get through this interview, but we'll see. We'll have to see. Lucy in Indiana, thank you so much for coming to tell us what exactly the difference was of the Cape and the water buffalo. The water buffalo is most often is seen in India, and Cape buffalo is seen in Africa. You get a number of differences within the appearance of them, and you can actually have a look. If you look up them, you'll probably see that the Cape buffalo is a little bit bigger than the Indian. But don't count on my word for that. Have a look and see what the difference between the Cape and the water buffalo is, and get to know it a little bit better. But thank you so much for answering that question. It's great when viewers get involved and they ask questions and they answer them. It makes this job way more exciting for me. Well, this interview a little bit more exciting for me, because I know that I'm engaging with request from Easy in Long Island to see if we can see a European bee-eater. We saw a European bee-eater yesterday. We were very lucky. Yesterday, if anyone was watching, oh, there goes a raptor of sorts. Yesterday, you would have seen that the termites came out, and a lot of the birds were feeding on all the termites around the Sabi Sands, and there was all sorts of bird parties happening. The Carmine bee-eaters were out, as well as the European bee-eater. And so the European bee-eater, which I'm going to show you quickly. So this one over here. bee-eater. Bee-eater 204. Here we go. For anyone else who's out there is interested to learn more about what a bee-eater is and what are the different ones that we have here, there is the European bee-eater. This is the one that we saw yesterday, which is the carmine bee-eater. And it was beautiful. There was a young juvenile that had a very red chest, which was really nice to see. But the bee-eater has a very, very significant sound that you can really hear. So I'm going to play it for us very quickly so that we can just quickly become accustomed to that sound of the bee-eater so that I can find you a bee-eater. Oof, it always closes with the sound of the Franklin. I just wish it wouldn't do that all the time. But that is the sound of a European bee-eater. And we are now I have that, and I'm gonna set the intention of finding a European bee-eater. So Scott is back on the vehicle. Unfortunately, he was not able to find anything, but he is going to give you an update. All the best and see you just now.
So, no joy. It was more of a march I did through the wilderness than a tracking exercise. I was just hoping to literally bump into the lions in an area where we could not see them from the road. And I probably covered about half a mile while you were gone. Obviously, as quickly as I wanted to cover ground, you also need to be cautious while moving through the bush, and moving too quickly can be dangerous. So I was moving as fast as I thought safe, but didn't have any joy bumping into our furry friends. Who knows where they could be hiding? That is the problem, is that the area that they've been moving in, there's a number of quite hard roads regarding the substrates. So I'm told you can't hear me very well. So I'll put the lapel mic a little bit higher up. There we go. So quite a few hard roads that these lions, or the general area that the lions have been moving through, which means they may have passed over some of the roads without us actually being able to see their tracks. That, coupled with the fact that there has been rain that has washed away whatever evidence was there. Either way, good prospects. At least we think the lions are on Djuma. So even if we don't find them this morning, maybe something will change for this afternoon. And from the few tracks that I did see on Cheetah Cutline, which was a road with very easy substrates, it looks like there were some big males amongst them. It's found for you, so enjoy.
Welcome back, everyone, to SafariLIVE. As we know that this is a live safari, and we have just come to some beautiful looking morning glories. And yesterday we had a question or a query to say, in this drought, have we lost a lot of flowers? Have we not seen a lot? And correct, that was from Diane. Thank you, Diane, for coming and asking us that. These are called morning glories, a beautiful purple flower that comes out in the summertime. Beautiful. You can see some more here. It is great, and it's fantastic to wake up in the morning when you start seeing a little bit more color. You know, I think just over the last few days, of course, I haven't been here for this whole year, or maybe the whole year before this, So I don't know how the drought's been. So most of you guys will know how bad this drought has really been. So I'm sure to see a beautiful morning glory is great for some of you, and it's great for me, as I haven't seen a morning glory for a very long time. But as you can see, have a look here, the rain is coming along. We're starting to feel a few more drizzles as the morning proceeds. We haven't been very lucky on seeing any game such as zebra, giraffe, or lion or leopard, but this is the name of the game. This is the way it works. It's a live safari. Anything could happen at any moment. I might just drive down this hill and see an elephant. One never knows. So we've always got to be open to anticipation and see that anything could happen at any moment. As most of you will know, Nikki, can you hear me? I copy. Wow, those were beautiful morning glories, hey? Patricia, I've been asking this question to myself the whole morning. Where are the elephants? You know, I was thinking as soon as these rains come and these big watering holes start filling up and the mud would start attracting them and they would all come towards the water and start playing. That was my first inkling this morning, that I was going to go to the watering holes and see if I can find any elephants sitting by the watering holes. So, sorry Patricia, I hope we get to see one in the next 20 minutes. We've got 20 minutes left of drive, and I'm going to do my very best to see if we can find one. I'm looking everywhere. But I can't tell you, that smell of this rain on this landscape is really, really good. I want to try and bring that to you as viewers, as you're driving along with me on this Saturday morning. It smells very, very fresh, and it's quite strange to actually be wearing a jacket in the Sabi Sands. Kyle, who's 15 years old, thanks so much for tuning in to this live safari. You're asking me, do I have any other hobbies other than being out in the wilderness? Yes, I really do. My favorite hobby is to go surfing and to go and catch some really big waves. I'm quite a fan of going out on a big swell. You can imagine, often when we have storms like this in Cape Town, we have the opportunity to get good swell that comes into the coast. And my favorite thing in the whole world, if I'm not in the bush, is to be with some of my best friends and going down to the beach and standing on the coastline, looking over the sea and seeing the biggest waves roll in and actually be so nervous. I must say, it's a very similar feeling to what I've been having over this interview process of talking to many people behind a camera. The same feeling I get when I go and take a big wave. You know, you don't know if you're ready, if you're fit enough to be able to catch that wave. You know, but sometimes you just got to throw yourself on the line and see what happens, eh? So yes, surfing is my number one hobby. So Carl, I've been told that you also have a hobby. Is that the trains that take you to Muizenberg? Wow, so do you live in Cape Town? Carl, do you know this? Do you know that area? Because I used to live. Sorry, I didn't realize that you didn't live there. Yes, trains. You know, I used to take the train in. Guys, it's been a very, very difficult morning to find any animals, and here we have some beautiful, beautiful looking females. Kyle, if you're still watching, would you be able to tell me what females these are? Oh, yes, sorry, are they horns? Can you see horns there?
Yeah, it looks like a young male.
So it's a young male. Oh, wow, sorry, I should have looked for the horns. Thank you, Nikki, in the control room. It's a female over there. There's a young male right here. I've got to learn to try and look at the monitor because I'm looking around and the camera's in another place. So I've got to learn and become more synchronistic with this monitor. It's all a little bit of a learning lesson. As you notice, it's starting to quite rain here at the moment. But they're very secretive animals. You can see they have like a disruptive coloration with the white stripes that are going down the sides of their bodies. This helps them blend into this environment. It helps them go through this thick vegetation and go hopefully unseen by some of the predators that lurk within its boundaries to find prey. So you can tell that these are very secretive animals. The other secretive animal is the nyala and the bushbuck. Ooh. Beautiful jump. So they're very, very secretive animals, and they'll probably most likely carry on walking through this vegetation, browsing on the on the nice trees, the bush willows that are here. That was great. So that's my first sighting of some animals this morning. I mean, we saw the hyenas a little bit earlier, but it's nice to see a kudu or even a nyala just now. So it's great. I know I haven't actually been able to see a leopard or a cheetah or a lion since I've been here on my interview process, but that's okay. It's okay. I would love to see one. I went tracking and looking for them, and it would have been nice to have seen one. But it's also, you know, it takes time to come back into the bush. It takes time to just be back in this ecosystem and understand the way in which it works. A year and a half out is a long time to not be back. But hopefully, if I get the job, I'll be able to learn more about the ecology, get back into this ecosystem, learn about these female leopards and the leopards that are around here that you guys see day in, day out in Chuma Park. But Kyle, I just want to go... Kyle, back to you. I just want to tell you that I love trains as well. Trains I used to take when I was young, when I was probably about 15 years old. I also used to take the train with my surfboard. I used to live in Muizenberg, and not in Muizenberg. I used to travel by train to Muizenberg, which is where the nice surf spot was, and that's how I did all my first surfing, was at Muizenberg. So I love trains too, Kyle. So everyone guessed kudu. Of course, I think I'm going to be a little bit harder on you next time. Realize that you guys are experts in the bush here with me, and I'm most certainly not an expert. So I know my animals and all that sort of thing. I don't know what you guys know. So I've been trying to test those waters, and it's good to know that I have a very experienced crew behind me. Which is good. It's going to keep me on my toes. It's going to keep me learning. We just... Hi there, Dolly in Ontario. I have had a very scary situation with a black mamba about 2 years ago. I was walking with a friend of mine and we were walking through the bush and all of a sudden a black mamba just came out of nowhere and it gave me the biggest fright. I screamed like a little girl, I'm not gonna lie. I had a little bit of a scream, but that was okay, you know, I got over it, and that was probably my scariest moment. It's just black mambas, you know, if they bite you, ooh, just what I said, you know, these animals are very secretive. Beautiful. I told you we were going to see all sorts of secretive animals in the bushes today, everyone. So we can't see him or her anymore. But at least we've got to see a few more animals and tick them off our list on this wet Saturday morning. But yes, just going back to that question about being scared. That was the scariest moment that I've ever had, was with that black mamba. But I also came across male lions during my training. I was walking into the deep, deep south of Londolozi, and I walked and I came across tracks, and you know, I was very nervous, but at the same time I was very excited. Yeah. Once you understand, this is a very important fact I think I want to share, is that once you understand your nature and your ecology, then you know what to do in those situations. The reason why people fear sharks, why people fear lions, why people fear black mambas is because they haven't taken the time to understand these animals. And as soon as we take the time to understand animals, then we know how to be with them. So that's a huge thing, and I hope that education in the future worldwide will give us more of an understanding of the way in which animals are in their ecosystems, because the more that we understand them and experience them, the better chance we have of conserving the biodiversity on this beautiful planet. And that in itself is a very important thing to understand, because we must know that the biota, which is all the trees, the birds, the flowers, are in direct relationship with the atmosphere and the rocks. We can't see anything in separation. So to just simplify what I just said, is that we need our biodiversity in order to live on this planet. It's very important. Felicity just asked me a very, very interesting question. You know, I'm just going to stop at anything right now. Let's just stop at this little tree, this little guarri bush over here. Can you zoom in for that, please, Liam? Okay, so how would I apply my systems? The question was, how would I apply systems thinking, which I learned within my master's degree, to learning about the way in which I guide? And, you know, everything, you know, systems approach is learning about the way in which things interact with each other within a system. So if we had to stop at any tree, it doesn't matter what we were looking at, and we spent time with it, we'd learn more about it. We'd learn how it is in this environment. We'll learn about what birds like to eat the berries of the guarri bush when it begins to fruit. We'll begin to learn about the animals that like to dig beneath it. We'll begin to learn about the ants that climb its bark, and over time, by spending more time with different systems, we can learn more about what a systems approach is and that sort of thing. That's exactly what I was doing. I was going to businesses in Brazil, and I was trying to do a systems approach where we stop and you look at the business and you try and understand what influences are very positive for the growth of the guarri bush or the business, and what was actually quite negative for the growth of the guarri bush or the business. So these, you know, we can learn from nature in many, many different aspects. And it's been a huge interest for me, and I would be very interested to know if it's an interest for you. because that's something that I'd love to explore a little bit further. How do we begin to understand and learn more about the ecosystem? So just on that fact, the more that we learn about this ecology, the more that I get to learn more about Djuma Game Reserve, the better I'll get to know where to go, where to find tracks, where to find the giraffe, where to find zebra. The more I get to learn about this ecology and the system, the better I'll be able to take you around here and say, do you want to find a zebra? Well, I think I know where to find a zebra. And the last time I saw the leopard, I think I might take you to the same tracks that I saw just last week or weeks before. So everything's about spending time with being patient and learning about the world around you, because self implies other. We are because of everything around us. So yeah, that was a great question, and that would be my answer. Can you just go close up on that? It's like a millipede. Because I don't want to run over any millipedes. All right, everyone. It's been a very, very interesting few days for me to be thrown into this context and this environment. I'm going to end with this millipede going back to camp, which is very, very close to here. And I just want to say thank you to every single person that's been part of my interview process. It's been a very difficult but very challenge is good, and it helps us learn and helps us see what we can be and what we can produce. So I just want to say thank you to all of you that have been part of that experience for me. And if it works out, I hope I get to see you in the future. Otherwise, thank you to the team, thank you to the presenters for being here and helping me and encouraging me to get through these difficult and challenging experiences. But thanks, and we're going to go off to Scott to close with him, and hopefully I get to see you again. If not, cheers for now.
Well, I'm sure a lot of you are overjoyed by our new friend Sam, and just the fact that you've been taken around with somebody with a new perspective and a new outlook on this magnificent wilderness, as well as this wonderful experience, this live safari experience that we are all so fortunate to be a part of. So I would like to personally congratulate Sam. I've watched a little bit of his drive yesterday, and I've no doubt that he also entertained you guys today. So well done. I always fear for new guys coming for an interview. It's a daunting task, and one of these days somebody is going to freeze or jam up completely on air, and I do not want to be around for when that happens. So always a relief when guys come in and do a good job, which seems to be the trend, which is wonderful. No joy with the lions or the leopards today, but we can all be very happy for the animals of Djuma and surroundings because of this rain that we've been getting. Even though it's just been small little installments, it's going to really help a lot of the animals out here, mainly the herbivores, who are going to be the first animals that get impacted naturally because of their lack of food. So I'm very happy about that, and also just happy with this cool weather. Hopefully it stays cool throughout the course of the day, and maybe this evening we will get luckier with regards to the bigger mammals like the lions and the leopards. But the rain also brings out a lot of other animals, the snails, a lot of the reptiles, frogs, snakes may become a lot more active. So there is a lot to look forward to on the Sunrise Safari already. It will be James and I taking you out. But for now, we're going to head back to camp, get all the equipment dry, and I think it's bacon and eggs today. So a tasty fry-up is coming our way, which is going to be very pleasant after this cool morning out. Thanks very much to all of you guys for your questions, contributions, your kind, welcoming gestures to Sam, and also to Nikki and Kirsty in the final control room. and Dave, who was teamed up with me on camera. We will see you all on the next adventure in a few hours' time. Goodbye.